Hi, welcome to the Brief Book Reviews channel, otherwise known as An Old Guy Reviews the Book that he's read this week. So what's the old guy read this week? Well, the book I've read this week is this one. It's called Getting Away with Murder by author Shari Lapena. It was published here in the United Kingdom by Bantam as a hardback on the 16th of July 2024. It's the author's 10th book, and the previous one's always been very well received. And in fact, the two previous books, She Didn't See It Coming, What Have You Done, I've reviewed here on the channel. So have a look on the channel if you want to see previous reviews of previous books. Less the Waffle Cliff. What's this one all about? Well, this is maybe a slightly different one. It's still a thriller, but it's more of a whydunnit than a whodunnit. I will explain. There's a bit of a clue, I suppose, on the title that says Getting Away with Murder, Perfect Home, Imperfect People. So this is the tale of a couple. They are called Jill and Ted Westcott. Ted works as a client relationship manager in a Wall Street firm in New York. Jill works works in an art gallery on the Lower East Side in New York, and they're a bit of a power couple, I guess. They neither of them wants children, and they've put their whole money and energy into their house. It's a New York Brownstone in Brooklyn Heights, and it is immaculate. It's the sort of house that appears in glossy magazines. They absolutely love it. As I said, they don't want children, so they've put all their efforts into this house. It's got mahogany staircases, it's got marble tops in the kitchen, you name it, it's got it. It's cost an absolute fortune. Now, Ted has come from money. When his father died, him and his brother Greg were left a fair chunk of money each. But the Brownstone development has basically taken a lot of Ted's money away. He doesn't want to tell Jill because he doesn't want to disappoint her. And basically everything Jill wants, she gets. So they lead a happy life. They entertain people at their house. And they're doing all right. But Ted's a bit worried about money. But he's trying to keep it from Jill. Unfortunately, one of the brokers where Ted works gives him a red hot tip. It's a stock that they think is going to shoot up in price. Well, you can guess what happens. Unfortunately, it goes a bit south and Ted loses an awful lot of money. To make matters worse, his brother's ex-wife, who's called Minerva, is also a client of the firm, and Ted has told Minerva to invest in this stock that's gone south. So Minerva's in Ted's office giving him GBH of the lug hole, bit of grief, because she's lost a lot of money. And Ted knows that this will get back to Greg, his brother. Now, although Greg and Minerva are divorced, Greg and Minerva are still on speaking terms, and Ted really doesn't want to get this to get back to Greg. The fact that Ted hasn't, is in financial difficulty, because Ted and Greg have always been very competitive brothers. And Greg, whilst Ted has ploughed his money into their home, Greg has been very entrepreneurial and made a lot of money. Greg's a keen sailor. Ted and Jill go out with him, on a regular basis. But Ted originally comes to the conclusion that he's going to have to tell Jill about the fact that they're in financial difficulties. So they have the conversation, and Jill is clearly distraught, because they've got a very expensive lifestyle and they've got a house that is costing them a lot of money. And P.S., they want to spend more money on it. And P.P.S., Jill would like her own art gallery one day. So they sit down and they try to work out what could happen. Now, Ted decides to ask Greg for a loan. Greg refuses, says, "No, that's your problem. You're going to have to learn to stand on your own 2 feet." So quickly, Jill and Ted come to a conclusion that's going to take them over a line. And that line is, well, if Greg had an accident and perhaps fell off his boat, we'd inherit, and then all our problems would be over. So they go from the unthinkable to the thinkable. And this, in effect, is that tale. So it's not a murder mystery in the true sense. It's a thriller, without doubt. But it's more of a whydunnit than a whodunnit. So can Ted and Jill trust each other? If they're coming up with this cunning plan to kill Greg and inherit, will they be able to withstand the pressure that comes with that? So this is a complicated tale of, I guess, all sorts of things. It's a tale of murder. It's a tale of blackmail. It's a tale of trust. It's a tale of inheritance. What happens with inheritance? How people see you differently. How your friends treat you. How you look at the world. But it's also a test of character. The age-old saying that adversity creates character. Well, also adversity reveals character. So we see Ted that's finally, having had a relatively easy life, he's up against it, and all of a sudden he's having to deal with shady characters who are coming out of the woodwork looking for money and being a lot more ruthless than he's ever been. And we also see Ted and Jill's relationship strained to the limit. So it's a really, really good book, a really good thriller. A slightly different spin on a whodunit, as I said, because we know whodunit. It's a whydunnit and how they cope with the pressure of doing that, and hence the title, Getting Away with Murder. It's 335 pages. I read it in one setting. I read it in a day because I liked the book. It was engaging. You got to know the characters. You saw the character development. You saw the strains that they were under. And it was those characters were really well developed through the book. There are some twists and turns. It wouldn't be a thriller otherwise. But really enjoyed the book, and I thoroughly recommend it. Another good effort by Shari Lapena. I think that's probably it for this week's brief book review. Thanks for watching. 1010. Do it again. Bye.